welcome to the NDTV Auto Show. I'm your host Mugdha Mishra. We have an exciting show for you today. Let's take a look. We bring you the first drive review of Nissan X-Trail. We visit Kargil War Memorial to commemorate 25th anniversary of Kargil War. Nissan is launching its second product in Indian market, the fourth generation of its SUV X-Trail. Now, if you remember, X-Trail was present in Indian market earlier and was quite popular with enthusiasts. Now, the question is, in its new avatar, will it be able to impress the Indian customers? Mohit Bharadwaj finds out.
Things at Nissan India headquarters have been really cold and slow for the last couple of years. But now the company has introduced its plan of launching 6 new models in the Indian market. And the first one from the list is this, the Nissan X-Trail. Now, this is not a new nameplate for our market. The X-Trail has been in existence globally for over 2 decades. In fact, the first and second generations of the SUV were on sale in India as well. Somehow, the third generation lost its way to our shores. The fourth one has finally made it. But how good is it? Is it still the OG X-Trail that we saw years back? And does it have the potential to go against the likes of the Hyundai Tucson, the Volkswagen Tiguan and more? Well, let's find that out in this video. Now, without any further ado, let's kick things off. Visually, the X-Trail is an interesting package. Well, it looks bold. This bonnet is high set and it has that commanding road presence. And talking of design elements, what you're getting is this signature V-shaped chrome-lined Nissan grille. Along with that, there is the split-type headlamp architecture, which houses your low and high beams here, and LED DRLs with turn indicators on the top. It certainly misses out on fog lamp, but what you're getting around the scuff plate is active aero inlets. And with all these active aerodynamics, Nissan has intensified that it gets a drag coefficient of 0.311, which is insane nonetheless. If I talk of dimensions, this is roughly 4.7 meters long, 1.8 meters wide and 1.7 meters tall. The wheelbase too is quite long at 2.7 meters. Around the sides, and what will catch your attention are these 20-inch wheels. They look a little too large on a car of this size. In fact, this silhouette is very butch, very boxy and ticks all the boxes to be an SUV. The ground clearance here is 210 mm, which is not short or small by any means. Now, around the rear, what you get is a smoke treatment for the tail lamps, and they are LED units, but some elements of it are halogens. Also, this scuff plate is very prominent on this rather chunky looking bumper. The overall theme is upright but equally elegant, and also you get these spoilers over here so that there's not a lot of wind noise inside the cabin, and they also keep a check on the drag coefficient. Step inside the Nissan X-Trail and you'll be quick at realizing that this is a premium space but misses out on important features. To start with, the dashboard is trimmed with leather, and so is the case with the steering wheel and door panel trims. But the seats, they are done in fabric. They do not come with ventilation function either. Also, they are not power adjustable. You'll have to adjust them manually. The steering wheel is also adjustable for rake and reach, but it's a manual adjustment nevertheless. What you also get are steering mounted pedal shifters, a 12.3-inch instrument cluster which is crisp and full of information. On the flip side, the touchscreen infotainment system is small at 8 inches, and it also comes with wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatibility. No wireless connectivity here. The wireless phone charger is available, and along with that you're also getting a Type-C and Type-A USB ports. Now, this center console also looks neat with this D mode toggle switch for your drive mode selector and a shift by wire transmission lever. And to keep Indians happy, Nissan is also offering a dual pane sunroof on the X-Trail. to get inside the second row of X-Trail, the job is very easy. And why so? Because you're getting 85-degree opening for the doors. Now talking of space, well, the front seat is set to my driving position, and for reference, I'm 5 feet 6 inches tall. Now I have decent amount of knee room, leg room, headroom. I can't complain of that either. But somebody who's taller than me, what they can do is slide this seat all the way back to have access to this acres of legroom and knee room on the second row of seats. Also, talking of creature comfort, you get these AC vents along with 2 fast charging USB ports. One is type A and the other one is type C. Now this seat, it comes with 20-40-40 split function. So if you want an armrest, all you got to do is this, and your access to this wide armrest with 2 cup holders and a smartphone holder. So getting inside the third row of X-Trail is a slightly tough job. Now it's the India spec model that is getting these seats, and they look quite like a makeshift option. Why so? Because you sit in a knee up position and these seats are fairly small. There are no charging ports here, no AC vents. What you are treated with is just 2 cup holders. And when you pull the second row of seats all the way back, there is no leg room whatsoever. What is the case with the boot space? Let's find that out. Sadly, you don't get a power tailgate. There's no kick to open function either. But what's this boot space volume like? Well, it is 585 liters. It doesn't look like that. Well, to access that, you'll have to tumble down both the seats. And if you need any more of that, you can also fold the second row flat to have a boot space that is roughly 1400 liters. Well, it's time to get going and tell you folks how good the Nissan X-Trail is to drive. What you're getting here under the bonnet is a 1.5 litre turbo petrol engine. Nissan claims it's a variable compression turbo that puts out 163 horses against 300 Newton meters of max torque. Now this variable compression is a thing that Nissan claims that the engine can support different compression ratios right from 8:1 to 14:1. Now if we take Hyundai and Volkswagen's 1.5 litre turbo petrol motors, they have a fixed compression ratio of 10.5:1. Now Nissan also claims that this CVT is very refined and will not offer any kind of rubber band effect. I'm happy to report that the rubber band effect on this CVT is much lesser than the other CVTs that we have driven, but certainly in cheaper cars. This one has rubber band effect, but in a much controlled fashion. Moving down to the suspension, the system is very progressive. You're driving fast even at triple digit cruising speeds. The car remains comfortable and silent, and you can still split lanes. When you're on bad roads, even doing speeds northwards of 50 kmph is not a deal breaker. There are no solid thirds that intrude into the cabin, and thus the X-Trail can accept all the potholes, ripples, suspension joints and bad roads as well. As for the steering feel and feedback, it is quite rich and direct, and I can say that the handling is super predictable. Even with the 20-inch rims that ride on 255/45 section tires, the ride and handling on the X-Trail is really good. And the one reason you would want to buy this car would actually be its ride and dynamic behavior. The brakes, they are progressive and they will never give you a heart in the mouth moment. A 12-volt MyHybrid system also runs on this car that will help you out with the start-stop system. Now that is designed to gain better fuel efficiency numbers. As regards for NVH levels, there are some vibrations during idling, but once you pick up the pace, all of them go away. But there is one big gripe that I have. While the first generation X-Trail and the second generation X-Trail did come with a 4-wheel drive system in the Indian market, this one only comes with a front wheel drive setup, but it does get an LSD. So what that means, you can do soft roading, putting to use the 215 millimeters of ground clearance, but no hardcore stuff. Now another great thing about the X-Trail is its wheelbase of over 2.7 meters. While it increases a lot of space on the inside, and that coupled with comfortable seats, the wheelbase also helps in giving this car some added stability. The CVT might disappoint you a little, but the engine with its peak power output of 163 horses and 300 Newton meters would not do so. In summation, the Nissan X-Trail is a capable SUV. Why am I saying so even though it misses out on a lot of features like the ventilated seats, powered seat, ADAS and more? Well, it gets the ride and handling balance right. The ride is very comfortable, it's pompous, while the handling is super predictable. The brakes are good, the engine and gearbox combination is smooth as well. But a big point that will define its success will be the prices for the Nissan X-Trail. And as we are shooting this video, the prices are not yet announced. I am expecting an ex-showroom price of around Rs 25 lakh for the X-Trail, considering the feature list it misses out on. And anything higher than the 25 lakh rupees mark, I'll consider this as an overprice.
So clearly X-Trail is a mixed bag, and if you're wondering how is it priced, well, we will have to wait till 1st August when Nissan is going to announce its pricing. In the meanwhile, we are shifting focus completely. 26th July is celebrated as Kargil Vijay Divas, and this is the 25th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Divas. On this occasion, I took Mahindra XUV 700 to Kargil War Memorial to pay respect to the martyrs of Kargil War. It has been 25 years since India fought the Kargil War and won. And when Mahindra Auto approached us to visit Kargil War Memorial on this momentous occasion, the answer was simple, a resounding yes. The idea was to hand deliver messages of the citizens from various parts of the country to our brave hearts. Thus, the Hearts to Brave Hearts rally started from 3 corners of the country: Tanod, Rajasthan, Tezu, Arunachal Pradesh and Kochi in Kerala. The rally reached Delhi, from where NDTV Auto team joined the rally and we reached Srinagar. I am right now at Badami Bagh Cantonment. It's a very important cantonment. It's in Srinagar. 15 Corps is the base from where Kargil War was fought. Right behind me is the Chinar War Memorial. This was built in 1947 after the War of 1947, which preserved the integrity of India. Messages for Braveheart have come from all across India, covering almost a distance of 10,000 kilometers. The rally, comprising of 16 of Mahindra's toughest SUVs, was being driven by Kargil War veterans and a handful of media personals. From Srinagar, we will move towards Kargil, where we will pay our respect to the brave hearts at Kargil War Memorial. While you enjoy the absolutely stunning views of the beautiful scenery of Kashmir, let me take you through what happened in 1999. Pakistan had infiltrated key strategic locations in Kargil region to gain access to crucial Highway National 1, which is a vital supply route between Srinagar and Leh. The terrain in Kargil was extremely rugged and inhospitable, with high altitude peaks and harsh weather conditions. This made the conflict particularly challenging, but Indian military, led by the army, fought with grit and determination and successfully regained most of the positions occupied by Pakistani infiltrators, and Pakistan was forced to withdraw from the rest. The war resulted in significant casualties on both sides. According to official figures, India lost around 527 soldiers. Another 1,500 were wounded in this war. We started at Srinagar, and after driving the entire day, we are finally here at Kargil War Memorial, which is at Dras. We crossed the Zojila Pass, which is at 12,000 feet. This one is at 10,000 feet. And on the way, we noticed that BRO has laid out really nice roads and it's pretty easy to reach here now. On the way to Kargil War Memorial, we were speaking to veterans and hearing their stories. They were telling us how difficult it was to reach this place, how difficult it was to fight that battle, and yet they showed absolute bravery, absolute courage, and kicked the enemy out and restored our country's honor. Here are some of their stories.
यह है हाई एल्टीट्यूड। लड़ाई चल रही थी 17,000 फीट, 18,000 फीट, रैरिफाइड एटमॉस्फेयर, यानी ऑक्सीजन नहीं आ रहा है, सांस नहीं आ रही है। इतनी ठंड है सब जीरो टेम्परेचर में कि लगता है शायद स्किन को काटेंगे तो वहां से खून की जगह क्रिस्टल्स गिरेंगे। उसके बीच में ये जवान, कोई जैसलमेर से आ रहा है, कोई सेंट्रल इंडिया से आ रहा है, कोई साउथ इंडिया से आ रहा है। एक्लेमेटाइजेशन है नहीं है कोई फिक्र नहीं, स्पेशल क्लोथिंग पहनकर और लड़ाई के लिए आगे बढ़ गए। मेरा काम इस लड़ाई में तैयार करना था अपनी फौज को, so that they can fight an effective battle against a very determined enemy. I was responsible, along with my unit, to provide arms, ammunition, special clothing, radio sets, GPSs, and so many other things.
तो कैप्टन विक्रम बत्रा साहब जो है 13 जम्मू और कश्मीर राइफल के थे। इन्होंने .4875 में दुश्मन की 2 बंकर को बर्बाद करने के बाद तीसरा बंकर में उनके साथ लड़ाई में मुठभेड़ में शहीद हो गए थे। तो इनको इनकी बहादुरी के लिए परमवीर चक्र से नवाजा गया है।
मैं सिर्फ यही कहना चाहूँगा कि आज से 25 साल पहले इस देश की बागडोर किसी और युवा के हाथ में थी। उन्होंने ये जंग लड़ी, उन्होंने ये जंग जीती। ये जंग तो खाली सिर्फ आर्मी ने नहीं जीती, मैं बोलूँगा पूरे हिंदुस्तान ने जीती है। लेकिन आज के युवा को भी उसी तरह से कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहिए जो उम्मीद आज से 25 साल पहले उस वक्त के युवा से, उस वक्त की यंग फौज से उम्मीद बनाई गई थी।
I am rekindling the whole memory because when I was posted with the army, I actually drove from Cochin to Bareilly and our unit got deployed in the valley in 1999. And it's exactly after 25 years, Faujiana Mahindra got in touch with me. They said, "Will you want to join for the rally?" I said, "Of course, I'm not going to blink my eye on that." And from Cochin, we are here. And I am waiting to go and raring to go to that area where I had taken so many photographs. It will be Kargil as I saw it then and now.
Hearing the stories of these brave hearts fills our heart with gratitude. This Kargil War Memorial pays tribute to supreme sacrifice of over 500 soldiers. And this rally was our small attempt at showing the gratitude and the emotions this country feels for these brave hearts. Jai Hind. Well, that's all from us today. How did you like the show? Do let us know. You can follow us on our YouTube channel NDTV Auto. You can also join us on various social media platforms. Thanks for watching. Drive safe and take care. Bye-bye.